What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, we're going to be going over what purchase contract and what assignment contract to use when wholesaling real estate. These are very important things that you need in order to be a successful wholesaler. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see what contracts I use. Also, I'm going to be giving you my purchase contract and my assignment contract for completely free. That being said, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Alright, now that we're on the computer, let's go to jacobblank.com/free. This is my personal website, and on this page, you are going to be able to download my purchase contract, my assignment contract, and one of my cold calling scripts for completely free. There's a link in the description for this website. All you got to do is fill out your information, click download, and then you're going to get all this stuff for free. That being said, let's open up our purchase contract. Alright, now that we've got the purchase contract open, let's check it out. Sales contract for real estate. This agreement is made. You're going to put the date right there. By in between the seller's name, you need to put the name that's on title that owns the property right there. And buyer, which is you, put your name right there. And or assigns, meaning we're able to assign this contract to another buyer. Buyer and seller shall hereafter jointly be referred to as the parties. Now, before we go any further, again, these are just the contracts that I use in my business. This is not legal advice. If you're going to be using these contracts, consult with an attorney and do your own diligence. But these contracts are very simple, and they've worked for me the past 4 years in this business. Now, let's keep moving. Description of the premises. Seller agrees to sell to buyer the property located at. You're going to put the address right there. Description written as follows. The seller selling you the property in as-is condition. Now, it's mentioning here that we are going to include this stuff in the property like window coverings and stuff like that, stuff that's permanent that they can't remove, right? They can't just take their trees with them. So it's saying what needs to be left with the property right there. This is where you're going to put the purchase price right here and put it here again. You're also going to put the earnest money. Earnest money is a deposit that you will make to title in order to open up escrow. Every contract, in order for it to be binding, has to have some sort of consideration. So that's earnest money. You can do $10, $100, it doesn't matter. Terms. The following terms are applicable to this contract. Closing costs will be paid by buyer. So right here in line 1 and line 2, it's going to lay out what the buyer is paying and what the seller is paying. So we're going to pay title fees, attorney fees, closing costs, and other miscellaneous costs that are related to that. And the seller is going to pay taxes that they owe, liens, encumbrances, mortgage, stuff like that. So this lays out here what people are going to be paying. And this is saying that we will try to get this closed within 30 days, or we can extend if needed. If the title search comes back where it needs some more time, we can extend by 90 days, saying we are buying the property as is with no warranties. And then it's saying here in number 5, seller to provide buyer with permission to access the property for evaluation and a key if possible, so that way you're able to walk buyers to the property. It's saying here that this offer is contingent on the seller providing clear title. And then here, number 7, is saying this offer is subject to financial partners' approval. This is where you are able to get out of the agreement. So I know everybody, when they're wholesaling real estate, they're like, what if I can't find a buyer? I'm going to be screwed. Not if you use this contract, because at any time you can say your financial partner did not approve and cancel the contract and get your earnest money back. This term right here makes you have no risk when doing this. Number 8, the title report and survey, if required, shall be ordered promptly. 9, any changes must be made in writing via an addendum and mutually agreed upon. 10, seller agrees to let buyer market the property on all these different avenues, right? The seller is letting you market the property, so that way you can find a buyer. You can now market the property to buyers to find a buyer. Defects. Seller warrants the property is free from hazardous substances. Insurance. So let's say the property burned down. The seller could turn over their insurance policy to you, so that way you can still purchase the property at the full price and get those insurance proceeds for the damages. Risk of loss. If it's damaged prior to transfer, buyer has the option of accepting insurance proceeds or canceling the contract. So if they mess up the property before the close date, that tells you what's going to happen. 14, no judgment. Seller warrants that there's no liens or judgments threatening the equity in the property. 15, acceptance. This instrument will become a binding contract when signed by both seller and buyer. This is where you set the close of escrow. This is where you put any additional creative terms that are unique to this contract. This is where you put the title company, and this is where buyer and seller sign. So that's the purchase contract. Super simple. It's 2 pages long, and you know, sellers really don't have a problem signing it. They normally read it over, and they're good to sign right away. Now let's check out the assignment contract. So make sure you go download that purchase contract at jacobblank.com/free. Now let's check out the assignment contract. Here we go. Assignment contract. Assignor. This is where you're going to put your company. You're the assignor. So whatever buyer name you put on that purchase contract with the seller, you're going to put right here as assignor. And then you're going to put the property address here. And you're going to put assignee's name right here, your buyer's name. And it's saying that assignor assigns all of its rights in the purchase contract, the underlying purchase contract, to assignee for the property located at there. And it's attaching our purchase contract as Exhibit A. Now, purchase price. This is where you're going to go ahead and put in the price that the buyer is paying for the property. And this price has no warranties, no guarantees, right? We're not making any guarantees to the buyer. You know, they have to do their own diligence. Assignment fee. This is where what we will be making at closing. Earnest money. This is how much earnest money you want the assignee to deposit. You want your buyer to deposit a minimum of $3,000 to $5,000 earnest money. And this earnest money is non-refundable. So once you lock that buyer in, as long as you get them to deposit that $3,000 to $5,000 non-refundable earnest money to title, they're never going to back out of the deal. And this is saying where they need to deposit it and when. Closing. This is stating when the closing needs to take place, and if the buyer delays closing and doesn't close on time, they will owe you a $1,000 a day penalty till they close. Now it's saying this can be electronically signed. It's saying that they need to do their own diligence, right? That we are not warranting anything to them. We don't know the exact size. We don't know the exact condition, right? Basically, the assignee is going to be buying this deal in as-is condition, and they need to do their own diligence as well. Now, this entire agreement is binding once signed, and other terms, you can add anything else in there. And then this is very important. It says this contract is non-assignable. You want to make sure that you have that in there, so that way your buyer can't just go and daisy chain the deal and resell it to somebody else. So make sure you have that in there. That's where assignor and assignee will sign, and there you go. That's an assignment contract. Now, what else am I giving you at jacobblank.com/free? I'm giving you a cold calling script, which is amazing. So make sure you check that out, right? Here's a script that will be beneficial to you. So make sure you check that out. And then also I'm giving you a bunch of information on real estate resources. So make sure you go to jacobblank.com/free, fill out your information and download this. So that way you get all this free stuff. But that being said, I hope that was helpful. You need to make sure that you are using the right purchase contract and the right assignment contract when wholesaling real estate. So there you go. Those are the contracts that I use. I hope that helps you so much on your real estate journey. If you liked this video, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, also hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives. So I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.